Yeah, hello viewers, you welcome to today's edition of the English language. So today we're looking at grammar. Up, we have a lot to discuss today because it's more or less a research work on the use of English and the related ways in which non-native speakers always coming up with some words, maybe wrong prepositional, uh, unnecessary uh, addition of determiners, uh, wrong insertion of part of speech to spell the wrong word, and all that. So let's start this way. I've had this word severally. Dash me the money. Dash. If you are an exam taker, please stop. This is not a formal word. Sincerely, it does not pass any grammatical message in the English language. Because if you look at the only symbol, dash, it's just this. So dash the money or whatsoever is like, okay, give out money, you can give out money. So instead of using the word dash the money or dash it out, so you don't say dash it out, so you can say give it out. Please be mindful of whatever, because whatever you say is what you write in an examination hall. And whatever you say is what will be conventional about you. So you need to be very careful and just continue to always use the right words whenever you want to speak or write. Another one is she came she came. She came with her car yesterday. Wow. I don't think exam takers and anybody should speak or write this way. The mental interpretation of the sentence will not make any sense, because if you put it this way, the grammatical interpretation of it is that the car is a toy. So she has the ability to have the car in her hands. But if you want to say that she drove in or she drove down yesterday, so you need to say she came in. She came in her car. Okay? Please, not she came with her car. She came in her car. So most of what we'll be discussing in all that we'll be discussing in here are all about past questions. So just trying to call attention as fast as possible in here. So the next one, the word spiritual upliftment. Spiritual upliftment. Wow. Please, the word supposed to be spiritual uplift. Uplift. Spiritual uplift. Okay? So mind whatever you write, mind whatever you say, because different meanings and whatever you're trying to pass across could easily at least mislead the person you're trying to communicate with. So having said this, there are some other words that's okay. I saw this on the billboard, and even in the whenever film industry, this the movies for matured view. Yeah, it sounds quite fine, but the use of matured here, matured is an adjective. Please note, matured is one of the adjectives that will not take a past tense form. Okay, so apart from matured, other adjectives like welcome. So these are the welcome guests. The welcome guests. This is one of the adjectives as well that won't take A past tense form, okay. Um, so when we look at this, the word's supposed to be just mature, mature view. So mature view. But as a verb, you can use the word matured. Example, the plant had matured for harvest. You see, so at least this is the verb in here, so you can use this. But in form of an adjective, please don't. Don't use matured in form of past tense, okay? So please take note of all that's coming on the board. These are your past questions. Remember, the movie is for mature view. Mature view. These are the welcome guests. You can see these are the welcomed guests. But if you use mature as a verb, then it could be used in form of past tense, okay? So take note of this very well, and let's see more to this. So other one in here, I've heard this word several times. The money will be paid in installments. The money will be paid in installments. While some argue that it's supposed to be the money will be paid in instrumentally. Instrumentally. Wow, interesting. Now let's see. Will someone say the money will be paid in installments? Ooh. Instrumentally. Yeah. No. Installment, please. Installments. Money will be paid in installment. Installment payment. Please note, don't use the word instrumentally. Instead, you sound grammatical. Installment. Installments. Please, not instrumentally. This has been what many people always use or talk about. So I haven't said this. I've had this several times as well. He has gone on sabbatical leave. Wow. Most of you, they've been taking past questions because you've seen this several times and you continue to wonder, how come this all is coming up? That's gone for sabbatical leave. Oh, I'm on sabbatical leave. I've had so many people say this. I've had teachers, I've had so many, even in the academic world, saying this on sabbatical leave. Please note, if you're talking about sabbatical is a leave, so you don't need to put this. You just need to tell someone that I am on sabbatical. So the moment you say sabbatical, it means you're not going to work, so you're on leave. So adding the leave to it is tautological. It's tautology, okay? So there's another one in here. In most places, I've seen this, out of bound. Wow. Maybe you're watching at the moment. I'll be glad if you can go out there and try to tell one or two people if you see this anyway. In most places, restricted to many who are not there. So this is supposed to be, this place is out of bounds. Please, without an S, this group of words will not exist. It's out of bounds. Take note, please. In so many places, I've seen it without the S, and so one really needs to be observant. Okay, so more of this. Please make sure you jot all this I'm trying to pass across to you, because there are past questions, and this are day to day words that we speak, we write, and we communicate with. So the next one we're looking in here is that, let's just try and look at some fixed expressions. I've had so many fixed expressions in which I continue to ask. I've asked so many questions now wherever that. I've had this. You can eat your cake and have it. Wow. You cannot eat your cake and have it. It does not exist. in the English language. I've heard it several times, you can eat your cake and have it. And I continue to ask myself the question, how do we hear about this? So it's gonna be, so when it comes to fixed expression, you have no right to restructure a fixed expression, okay? Because it's more or less an idiomatic expression. So, okay, if you are home and you're watching at the moment and you have Oxford Advanced Learner 7th edition, if you have 7th edition, please go to page R76. Page R76. Please, strictly 7th edition. 7th edition, Oxford Advanced Learner, 7th edition. If it is not 7th edition, please, the 7th edition Oxford Advanced Learner is the only dictionary of its kind with page R76. 6th edition has no page R76, 8th edition no R7. So if you open to page 6 R76, you see what I'm talking about. So I will say this, you can have your cake and eat it. You can't have your cake and eat it. Not you can't eat your cake and have it. Please check. You can't eat your cake and have it. No, it's you can't have your cake and eat it. At least it could be you can have your cake and eat it, or you can have your cake and eat it too. Okay? So not you can eat your cake and have it, because someone will continue to imagine, how will I eat my cake and I still have it? No, you cannot have your cake and eat it. It means that you shouldn't expect everything to be going on smoothly every time, because if you have the rough part, you're gonna have the smooth part too. Okay, so that's the meaning of you can have your cake and eat it. So the next one in here is that I've had so many master of ceremonies being called. Master of ceremonies, not master of ceremony, master of ceremonies. Okay, so I've had so many master of ceremonies, or some people saying, "Oh, last but not least." I've had that several times. So you can't say last but not least. So you say, "Oh, so the last but not least." Why can't you just say second to the last? Second to the last. The second to the last, or you say last not least. So I would say the last but not the least. Okay, look at it. The last but not the least. Sorry, this does not exist in the English language. It doesn't exist anywhere. So it's not the last but not the least. So you can say last but not least. Last but not least. Or you can say second to the last. So either of the two. Last but not least. Not the last but not the least. No. Last but not least. Or you say second to the last. Okay. So I haven't said this. Let's still check more on grammatical use of words. So this part around, look at this. Is a talkative. The man is a talkative. The man is. He is a talkative. He is a talkative person. He is a talkative. He is a talkative person. Oh, don't mind him. He's a talkative person. A talkative person? Okay, remove this. Just say he is talkative. He is talkative. He is talkative. Okay? He's talkative. And if you want to put this, or you can say he's a talkative, Don't worry, you can still say it's a talkative or it's talkative. But let's look at this. You can say he is a talker. Wow. So let's see what's different. This is another part that we need to look at. So you don't say is a talkative person. No, you can't say he is a talkative person. So you say he's talkative, okay, or he is a talker, okay. Wow. Different parts of speech and different meanings in here. Okay. This is who is a talker? Then who is a talkative? A talkative is someone that talks too much without sense. Talks too much. A talker. So talks always on point. So when you say who is a talkative, a talkative talks too much without making sense, okay? Then a talker talks at least much sense in it. So there's difference between a talker and a talkative. So another one we see in here is that just see that, let's see, telling someone the spectators were cheering up the runners. Wow. The spectators were cheering on the runners. Please, why do we speak this way? The spectators cannot cheer up the runners. Okay? But if the spectators would cheer up the runners, that would be another thing entirely. But what's obviously what this particular speaker is trying to pass across in here is trying telling us that okay, the spectators were busy trying to boost the morale of the runners. Okay, so but they not that's not what that's not what this meant. So if we go according to the interpretation of this, it means the spectators are trying to make the runners that are sad to be happy. So it's supposed to be the spectators were cheering on the runners. So the spectators cheering on the runners, trying to boost the morale, trying to boost the morale of the runners. Okay. So cheering on the runners, trying to boost it in the so if someone is angry, if someone is sad, you cheer up the person. You can say cheer up. Cheer up. Don't be sad. Cheer up. Don't be sad. Okay? So if cheer up, it means you want to make the person happy. Cheer on. You want to make the person to be more agile, active. So the spectators were busy cheering on the runners. Then you can tell someone is sad that please cheer up. Don't be sad, okay? So check the use of prepositions in there. So the next one on this is, so let's see the next one in there. I've asked so many people saying is that jokes aside, jokes aside, or jokes apart. Wow. Please don't speak this way, don't write this way. Okay? Please don't speak this way, don't write this way. So what are you supposed to say? You are to say joking apart. Joking apart or joking aside. It's not jokes apart or jokes aside. So it's joking aside or joking apart, please. Oh, joking apart, I gave him the money yesterday. Not jokes apart, I gave him, or jokes aside. So it's going to be joking apart or joking aside, okay? And this is another part that you really need to put into consideration. You're talking to someone, you're telling the person that stop pulling my leg.